Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Like always, thank you so much for all your likes, comments. I truly appreciate them. It really helps me, gives me the energy to keep coming back and do these video for you. One of the feedback that I received was you guys wanted me to do a video on CPD and how do we go about achieving them. So today's video, we're going to discuss what CPD is about, what are the different routes and how do you go about recording them. But before we do that, can I request you to please hit the subscribe button if you've not already done so, and also hit the bell icon. Alright, so moving on. So first of all, what is a CPD? So CPD is a continuous professional development. This is the requirement for all ACCA members to continue to hold their membership, which is, be able to use that lovely 4 letters in front of our names, right, and be there on the ACCA's members list. And of course, I've done a separate video on why you should keep your ACCA membership, so do have a look at that, so you will know why we should continue to do the CPD as well. Now CPD, like we would have learnt in some of our exams as well, wherein CPD is around making sure you're updated with the latest happening in our world. So when I say in our world, it is finance, accounting, audit, taxation, etc. Right? So therefore, what CPD expects you to do is to make sure that every year you are keeping yourself updated with whatever is happening in these major streams that we have to be aware of. Now, when you look at the CPD's requirement, there are various ways in achieving that. One route is your unit route, which is where you have to do 40 hours of training or 40 hours of units which are considered to be okay for a CPD, right? Now within this 40 units or 40 hours, 21 are supposed to be verifiable and 19 are unverifiable units. Alright, now what are verifiable and non-verifiable? So when we say 21 verifiable units, this is where you've actually undergone trainings. You have done maybe trainings at, these are like Coursera, Udemy, these kind of trainings that are available where you've undergone things like GST, or maybe what is AI, blockchain, or maybe the newer technologies like Python, etc. Whatever, you have actually undergone proper trainings for them, right? And you have a certificate for them, right? So when you talk about the verifiable units, there are a few questions that you have to ask. That, what have you learned? Is that something that you've applied at work? Can you prove that you have undergone this training, right? Only then you are able to say that, yes, I have done these trainings. So when you're going for the unit route, within that unit route, the 21 units come from these type of trainings. So if you have undergone any trainings at work, and a lot of you would be working in corporates where you have these trainings always ongoing. It could be on Lean, Six Sigma, it could be on PMP, it could be anything, right? As long as it is in your finance and accounting profile, right, you should be able to take those trainings as your 21 units of verifiable CPD units, right? So that's that. About the remaining 19 units, it is basically self-study, which you can just do through AB magazine or any other content that is readily available online, offline, because there you're just being ethical about that. Yes, I keep myself updated. Like for example, as an ACCA member, we get regular emailers from ACCA. There is professional insights that are available on the ACCA website, right? So these are the kind of things that you can go through, and your 19 units are set to be covered from this. So once you've got your 21 verifiable and your 19 unverifiable units sorted, you should be able to apply for a units route, right? Then there are other routes, one of them being if you're working for an approved employer, right? Now you would know that ACCA has over 7,000 approved employees, including a lot of them in India. If you're working for them and the approved employer has an approved employer's development plan or professional development plan, I think it's called, right? You should be able to check on the ACCA's website who are these approved employers and see if your employer is one of them. Typically, big fours, or top MNCs are usually there, right? So, look for them. And if your employer is an approved employer, look for whether they have the approved employer's professional development program. If that is there, that means what ACCA is now going to consider, that because you're working at an approved employer and you're already undergoing their professional development plan, that is enough to say that you are constantly being trained and you do not have to do anything else, right? So if you are part of the approved employer and you're part of that plan, again, you can select that route and you can complete your CPD. Then there are less common ones, like if you are part of another IFAC body, let's say you're a chartered accountant, and within the chartered accountancy also you're supposed to maintain some CPD units, right? If you're meeting CA's requirements of CPD, right, it automatically means you're meeting ACCA's requirement as well, right? So that was the third. And the fourth one is where you are, let's say, working part-time or you're not working a full-timer, then there are certain waivers that are available, right? But today's video is more around how do you go about getting these units. So like I said, the most common one that all of us, including myself, fall in is where you have to go for the units route, where 21 is verifiable and 19 is your unverifiable, right? So once you have gotten those units, right, what you need to do is you go on to your My ACCA, log into, and it will obviously, at that time of the year, for example, right now, it will start to show up that, this professional development, section will become, or there will be a notification there which you click on, and then it will ask you to submit your CPD for the current year, right? As soon as you click on, start recording, it will ask you which route you want to go for. So like I said, if you're going to go for a unit route, you will click on the unit route, and then it will also ask you if you're working for a practice. Are you part of any areas where you are signing off financial statements, etc.? Because CPD becomes a lot more stricter if you are part of a practice, you're signing off financials, because obviously, public interest. So if you're working for one of those, then yes, click on it. If you're not, just go skip or next, and then comes, a lot of confirmations around or declarations around that you've not had any kind of disciplinary, or you've not been part of any practice, and there are some 5-6 confirmations that you have to click on. Once you click on them, you push the submit button, and that's it, your CPD is done. It is as straightforward as that, right? Now, what are the things that you need to do? Because a lot of us, while we find this to be the quickest and the easiest way to do, is that if tomorrow in ACCA's review, your unit that you've submitted, as that your CPDs have been covered under 21 units of verifiable units, right? If it has come through that one, and if it comes from a review, it comes up for a review for an ACCA, then you will have to submit all the documents to ACCA, right? What do we mean by that? So for example, if you are saying that you did 21 units, you'll have to show how do you know that these were the 21 units. So if you have, let's say, a training program, that training program should say that yes, it was for 3 months, 6 months, 5 hours, 10 hours, whatever the case may be, right? It may not always say the number of hours, but there could be some duration mentioned over there, or the program is such that it cannot be finished in less than 30 hours, right? Of course, there will be some sense check over there as well, but you will have to submit the copies of those certificates that you have. Therefore, if you have attended any of these trainings, now when I say trainings, if you have maintained your membership, ACCA themselves do so many of these sessions throughout the year that you can cover a lot of your CPD requirements through ACCA sessions itself, so that you don't even have to pay for it. Just look out for emails. ACCA does these workshops, ACCA does these seminars, and as long as you're attending them, you are getting one CPD unit at a time, and that's it. By the end of the year, you would probably have enough units that you can call it as a verifiable 21 units, right? So therefore, if it does come up for a review, please make sure that you have all of those things handy, because you'll have to submit them, right? So I do hope that you will be able to submit your CPDs going forward without any hassle. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop me a comment and I'll try and help you my level best. On that note, thank you so much. If you think that this video is going to be helpful to others, feel free to share it with others. Thank you so much.